Alright, I hope everyone can hear me. Alright, and the music should have actually been playing. Reset my shit again, hold on, let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay, so the music was working. Excellent. Okay, hello, everyone. It is literally nearly 1 p.m. And, like, I don't know how many people actually are even gonna see this teaser right now. Like, a bunch of people are at work and shit, so very funny Gaijin indeed. Uh, let me switch over to the desktop window. There we go. I literally just straight up ripped the, what do you call it? The, thumbnail. So I'm just gonna watch it. I bet a lot of you already have even seen. So that was literally the Dardo. I don't know why there's this one content creator I saw talking who thought that it was a uh warrior, something British. Let me what the hell did he think it was here? Stormer 30. And I'm like, no, that's literally the fucking Dardo. Like that's the Dardo with its CITV because they were for some reason like a patch light on that for some stupid ass reason. So yeah, um, give people a few minutes to join here. Yeah, people think it's a Stormer 30, but it's just the Dardo. That's not. It might still add it, who knows? But that is legit. Just so. All right. Uh, we'll get to it, and then afterwards, I'll kind of just go through it. It's a pretty simple teaser, but so we'll see. The volume should work on it, so there we go.
Base, this is Go Flight 1-2. I have visual on 12 T-62 heavy armor around 4 miles from the city perimeter, supported by 4 AAAs, over.
Roger that. ATRE Alpha, advance to Zulu and set up defensive positions for Centurions.
Hold! Hold bulldozers. Forward.
Want me to do it?
Thanks. Advance. Reverse and repeat.
Could you imagine seeing this much teamwork cohesion in an actual game?
Mark 10,
I don't.
assume defensive positions. Enemy in visual range in 1 minute. Your main target is the AAA. Eradicate to create safe air zones for CAS to clear heavy armor.
Enemy spotted. Gunner, range.
800 south.
All gunners, 0800.
800.
Now, open fire. Fire!
Fire!
Firing for effect.
Good head. Good head.
We've been spotted. Deploy smoke and retreat.
Gas AAA neutralized.
Roger that. Bombs away.
Okay, alright, let me turn that shit down. I don't know if that was too loud, I apologize. Every time I have a Windows update or something, everything always gets like completely thrown out of array. So, first off, I just want to say, I never knew that on the T-72 that was actually like a little dozer. I always just thought that that was extra plate armor they had put on. I didn't realize that that's actually what that was for. Probably should have assumed that, but yeah. Well, there's nothing left on it, dog. I did finish it. That was it, dog. I don't know what you want. Oh yeah, I forgot about that little part. Yeah, the little Landsvark thing. The big truck. Yeah, I forgot about that. Sorry. I kind of had it already spoiled for me. I saw some people talking about it. Well, if you've played Wargame recently, they just dropped the South Africa DLC. This thing is a hilarious infantry support vehicle. Even though it doubles up as an AA, it's pretty good. The big Chungus. Every time I look at a South African vehicle, I get the Savimbi vibe from Black Ops 2. The opening mission. Yeah, so that'll be fun. I don't even know what battle rating that'll be. I think it's like a Beaufort or something on it, or 30 mil. I can't remember. So everyone is saying that this is like the Storm at 30. I mean, I guess because it's more circular. It could have just been the, oh yeah, maybe that is. Okay. It also could be an upgrade package to the Dardo too. Because that is like the exact same cupola. I'm literally looking at the Dardo on my phone right now. To me, that seems like a Dardo, but with an upgrade package. Just saying. So, yeah. Uh, Dardo fun. So, obviously, the big thing, hence the update called groundbreaking. I mean, terrain deformation. You definitely know that they were testing this trench shit with Enlisted first. They like I like how they use Enlisted as like a testing ground for things in War Thunder. It's always kind of funny. Well, it is possible that the Stormer 30 could share the same upgrade package. Like I won't, but like the same design, I should say. I won't put that out of the question. Either way, the Dardo will at some point get that upgrade where it can have CITV. I don't know why it was missing it in the first place. Also, like I said, I don't know if you caught it when I was saying it earlier, but imagine this much teamwork in a War Thunder match. I can't imagine that. You'll see people in squads do that now, but so with the terrain deformation, especially with the, where is it? Where's our T-72? There pretty much goes like a weak spot for the Russians. Like literally on any map that has any sort of dirt, literally all the Russians are gonna do is they're just gonna be like, lol. Now you gotta shoot at the single weak spot that I actually have, which is my drivers. So the Russians are gonna be able to play defensively super well at top tier with this mechanic, at least before obviously aircraft are involved. But pretty much, yeah, like you can see, like there's still gonna be, I mean, you can't just sit behind it forever, but if people are actually using some sort of like cooperative, you know, teamwork here, presume that the French naval still isn't coming. Yeah, I'll actually get to that in a second. Also, yeah, I didn't even think about that. I forgot. The 103 is a dozer. I'm surprised they didn't show that in the trailer, actually. Um, so yeah, like this and stuff, like this. I want to go back to the beginning here. This map. I mean, are we just at crossout now? Like, are we just? This is just crossout. This is like. Oh, whoops. Fuck. This is like a mixture of crossout and Mad Max. So this map looks pretty interesting. Obviously, considering the mechanic of the update, they're making a map to kind of flow with that. This also reminds me of, isn't there a World of Tanks map that's very similar to this, where it's a desert city map like this? Like almost it looks identical. Are we getting a traction with tracks back? I fucking hope so. Like like I was just watching some content creators talk about it, and they were saying how like imagine you're on Rhine and you get a crater, you get bombed in a crater or something, and then you're stuck in the crater because you're in like a wheeled vehicle, and then you're stuck. Oh, you're late to the trailer, but after the stream's over, you guys can always go back. Don't worry about it. Middle East 2021. Yeah. No, this is Arizona. Or this is what Las Vegas is gonna look like in 2025. The city that was bombed in World of Tanks means 70% of them. Yeah, I swear there was a map that looked almost identical to this. Of course. Also, could you imagine? I don't know if this is just for the trailer effect here, but could you imagine if they actually let some planes be used as spy planes, like for actual spotting? Like one thing I've wondered why was never really in War Thunder, although sometimes you can update game breaking. Also, thank you, GG bro, for following. Update game breaking. Yeah, that's what everyone's gonna call it, game breaking, because it might the mechanics might literally break the game. So, yeah. But anyways, what was I saying? You know, you guys know how you can spot tanks with light tanks, but you can't spot helicopters or aircraft. You can sometimes, if you press like your select target key, like if you play arcade and you select a target with, I believe default it was always X. You can sometimes use the T menu to like T, what is it, 4 and 7 or something. in order to tell people like that there is an aircraft. Sometimes you can get away with it, but I'm surprised we've never had a sort of mechanic to allow spotting planes and helicopters. And also kind of in the inverse, I'm surprised there hasn't been really much of a use for things like the Canberra, which I mean there were spy plane. The Canberra was the spy plane before the U-2. So, and also like light scout attack helis. I'm surprised they haven't bothered with that mechanic yet, but someday they most likely will. And we're in regards to the dozers, again, I think the T-72s and stuff, the Russians are definitely going to have an advantage here with playing of playing defensively. The thing that I am concerned about, although I've kind of expected terrain deformation to be in War Thunder for a really long time, I also did inquire about Enlisted having terrain deformation because I think, like, I like Enlisted. This is a little tangent here. I like Enlisted, but my biggest issue with the game is that when you're playing the invasion mode, buildings are literally just bunkers. They don't get destroyed, not in the slightest. There's a couple of blowout holes. And a lot of Enlisted CCs apparently are kind of against this, and even the devs were kind of against it in a way. But even just like, with like Battlefield 3, when they did a lot of evolution, a lot of buildings I remember in BF3 didn't completely get destroyed. They were like blown out. I think that was my biggest gripe with Enlisted, and the inability of them to make buildings destructible. I don't know if it's a engine limitation. I mean, War Thunder has it with the buildings on Berlin and like Rhine and such. Like, buildings do get destroyed. I don't know if it's just something they're limiting for Enlisted. I don't know. But with that little tangent out of the way, you definitely know that Enlisted, using their trench system, was kind of testing this mechanic for War Thunder. They're the same freaking engine, basically. All right, it's Dagor, so same thing. But my biggest gripe, I don't even really care about the ramparts. I'm more worried about this. I actually think that this is cool. I think that this is like a nice thing, and I would have expected this from War Thunder a long time ago. I think if you ask them if you've ever heard of War Thunder, or what would you want a game like War Thunder now, and they never played it before, I bet their first interaction would be, or their first impression would be, how come there isn't terrain deformation? For new players, like in the modern day, you've got shooters like Battlefield. I think even COD's dabbled into it. But I'm surprised we haven't had terrain deformation in a while, of this kind of scale. So I kind of like it. Take that with a pinch of salt. I kind of like it, but I'm more concerned how this is going to flow on city maps. Because if you bomb the road and then there's a massive fucking crater, and then do the buildings around it collapse into it? Does rubble come in? Because I know like it kind of despawns, but if you guys have ever gone through the buildings on like Sinai or El Alamein and the pieces get stuck on your tank and they slow it down, I'm more concerned if this is going to cause a lot of issues on city maps. A lot of other CCs I can already see are kind of concerned about this. I think it's cool for open fields and desert area. I am more concerned on the city maps, how much craters are going to ruin gameplay. And also, I just see Popcorn Chef, that is true. Bridges. Will bridges be blown out? I doubt it. Will they have some stupid shit where the craters, like, if you drop a bomb, there's a crater under the bridge, and then you get stuck. Like, you guys know on Breslau, you can go through the water. Like, imagine that there's a big crater, and then you're trying to go through the under of it, but there's a crater that you can't see because it's some stupid thing. Who knows, really? But yeah, like, I'm concerned about the city maps. I don't care if you do this on Fields of Poland, which, I mean, it does have buildings, but I'm not concerned if you do this on big maps with a lot of open space, right? But for El Alamein, or not El Alamein, sorry, Advance to the Rhine, Breslau, Berlin, I mean, the map was already designed around that, but I don't know, how much is artillery going to affect this? Because what's the crater size of artillery going to be? This is definitely one of those things where you have to wait till you can actually play it in game and experiment with it to see how broken it's going to be. But for right now, I'm 50-50 on it. but like I said, I'm very concerned how this is going to operate in city maps, and this is probably going to make city maps really, really tough to play on with anything that doesn't have really good horsepower. And also, there's the other thing too. I thought about it first, actually, when I first saw people talking about it. The P8, how big is the crater on the P8 gonna be? Like, if you drop a P8 bomb in the middle of Advance to the Rhine, are the building assets gonna still remain there over the crater? If you guys have ever played Ruse or War Game, you'll know what I'm talking about here. You can shell and bomb the shit out of a city, and you'll see the craters, and the craters will be under the building assets. Now, of course, those games, the RTS games, they pretty much kind of ignore that. It's just for effect, right? They don't really affect gameplay. I was about to get to that, Gandini. I was just about to get to that. How big and how deep of a crater is a bomb gonna make on a building that it causes it to make a crater that sits under the building and the building asset is there? Or if you hit a building, there is no crater made because in a certain weird sphere of the hitbox, it doesn't count. I'm all for terrain deformation in War Thunder. I really don't. For tank cannons and stuff, I wouldn't care. But for casts, I am concerned. The P8 is a special case. We all know the P8, blah blah blah, the big 5,000 kilogram bomb. I understand that. Like that is the case that I'm concerned the most with. But if you have someone like in a Phantom and they have a bunch of 1,000-pound bombs and they fly over the battlefield and they carpet bomb a cap, you just turn the cap into like a big trench. It's like, I mean, they literally dug ditches in World War II for tanks to get stuck in. And now you're giving people the ability to spawn in, make a big-ass tank trench, and deny a cap. So, I don't know. Those bombs were what? The Buccaneers 1,000-pound bombs? Were they the ones... Yeah, they were the... Okay. Yeah, the 1,000-pound ones. So, like, something like this. I mean, they dropped, for trailer effect, they dropped all of them in the same vicinity. And that, if that right there is all of the damage that all of those bombs did, I can forgive it, and I won't really care that much about carpet bombing. Like that, oh, yeah, and I forgot about the Wellingtons as well. No, like I'm serious. If all of those bombs were that single crater, I'm okay with it. Right? But if, a player might just press their spacebar key a couple of times in a certain pattern, and then you might dig an entire friggin' ditch that stretches half across like the sea cap on Poland or something. So yeah. Snow map. Oh my god, I just thought about that. The snow maps. You already can shoot through what? 2 feet of snow? Tag onto that. You bomb out a ditch. Someone gets stuck in that ditch. And then they're shooting through the snow at you. Like. And that's the other thing too with the dozers. If you're on a snow map, the sand is a little bit easier because there's a colored contrast with tanks and stuff. But with snow, at least in my experience with playing War Thunder and my eyes and my rig and graphics and all that, I won't be able to tell the difference between a guy sitting on a snowy ridge and a dude sitting behind a snow pile. You like think about it that way. Can you dig with the STRP 103? You don't need a shovel, you are the shovel. Yeah. The door wedge shovel combination. Would this be implemented in air maps too? Finally blow up a base? Possibly. I mean, I don't know if it's specific meshing for ground maps. If it is literally specifically tied to ground maps and the way that they model the ground, the terrain. If it works in ARB, the effect would be cooler in ARB than it would in ground RB because you're only in the air in ARB. So, are they adding more dozer vehicles? Well, see, at the ending here we have the weasels, which I'll get onto now. I'm gonna go back to the boat, by the way. I want to touch on that. So I want someone to look up that boat for me if you know what that is. However, with the weasels, you thought the R3 was bad. Now you've got 20 mil R3, tow R3, and hiding in a tree line, firing like what I believe their IR SAM version of the R3. I've always wanted the weasels in game. I don't care. They're weasels. You can 50 cal them, 20 mil them. Pretty much gonna one shot them if you see them. But there's the thing, if you see them, right? So, and I do wonder how many vehicles would get dozer modifications now. You guys know what's the name of the Sherman with the like the chain whips that whip around and dig up the dirt, the mine clearing one? Do you think they would add that to the game and then people would just go around just kicking up dirt and just completely killing people's performances on their potatoes? like imagine if they do that. They just someone's got the what do you call it? It's called like the alligator or something, and they just start whipping the ground up, and all the people, hello NPCs, they just see like a bunch of sparkling dirt pixels, and they're like, what the fuck? And their computer just starts just fuming. That would be so bad. But M1A1HC had dozer blades. That is true. I didn't think about that. Yeah, I wonder if they'll start adding more modifications for that. And you know the doesn't the Merkava have a dozer on it? I think the Merkava Mark IV has mounts for a dozer on it. That they only I think. Dig Thunder confirmed. Huh. Well, yeah, the weasels are cool. This little South Africa thing, kind of cool. Yeah, but mainly my main concern, and should be your concern too, like, take it easy on the hype. Your main concern should be, will these big ass craters and people that take out bombers in a ground RB kind of ruin it and cause a lot of problems? So, just saying, you can be hyped, but you have to be skeptical. Like, I'm gonna go on another tiny rant here before I get on this boat. My biggest issue with War Thunder right now is that I don't find it interesting. I find it a very, very, very mundane game to play right now. There's nothing interesting. I'm sick of playing on Corellia and my fucking Abrams. I've been doing that for 2 years now. Like, I'm bored. They keep adding these nice big maps, the ones that I want to play on, but Gaijin refuses to work on their map banning system and their matchmaker in order to allow people that don't want to play on bigger maps to play on their smaller maps like they want to, and people like me that want to play on bigger maps to play on bigger maps. I mean, like, really, we haven't had more map bans at this point. It's just ridiculous. So for me personally, I don't really get super hyped about these things anymore, because all I know is at the end of the day, all of these shinies and all of their mechanics don't make the game more fun. They don't cater to the way I want to play it. They don't cater to the way you want to play. At the end of the day, doesn't matter, because you're still going to play it for a week. You're going to get bored. There's going to be bugs, and then you're going to go play something else. Right now, recently, I've been playing a lot of World of Warships. Actually, I've been finding the game rather interesting to play. And there's goals I want to get to with that game, and games like Warframe and other stuff like that. I've been more interested in playing those kinds of games. Because if they add if they add vehicles and I find them fun, I'm gonna find them fun for a week, and then I'm gonna play something else. I'm play another game. I don't enjoy playing my top tier lineups anymore. I don't enjoy derping around a mid tier because it's always some dumbass shit. You can't enjoy playing the jumbo anymore because they'll either up BR it or they'll put things like the Jagdpanzer 4.5 down and then remove the stock HVAP round and allow them to just run around with heat at like 5.3. So, or like I go play Air RB, and what's Air RB? Fly, you take off, you climb, you get a missile warning, you die, or you don't die immediately, you get into a little fur ball, and then you get shot in the ass, or you play props, you climb for 20 minutes, you die, you just go back to the hangar, or if you don't die, you kill a couple of people, you fly back and you land, you sit there and you climb again. It's boring as shit. If I want to take off and climb and go back and rearm, and I don't have ARBEC, which I would rather have more than any them adding vehicles, I will just go play DCS. Because part of the experience in DCS is starting up your plane, or shutting it down, or doing this and doing that, changing systems. In War Thunder, you don't have all of that to keep you preoccupied. The only thing you have in War Thunder is you fly and you die. That's all you do. So, like I said, I'm finding the game to be very, very boring, no matter what they add, no matter what mechanics they may try to experiment with. It's the same game at the end of the day. War Thunder hasn't changed in maybe 3 to 4 years. That, in my opinion. Before they added really, really modern vehicles in War Thunder, the game was fun to enjoy. And then they added modern vehicles, and it kind of changed it. But then they do a lot of balancing things. They add a lot of vehicles that make it just the same game. So, like I said, I know it was a little bit of a rant, but I have a lot of people watching right now, so I would like to get that off my chest. Because recently my videos haven't been doing well. In terms of viewership, I've had a bit of a creative drought, let's say. So I just kind of want to get that message out there to some people and say that, like, at the end of the day, I'm not making content. A lot of people don't want to make content on a game that just hasn't changed. So, what was the last thing? The ship. I want to talk on the ship. Does anyone know what this is? The turret reminds me of the USS Austin from World of Warships. That turret looks like the Austin's one, so I'm assuming that it's like 127. That looks very modern. Does it finally mean America can get a modern frigate that's actually kind of annoying or interesting, and not like just some stupid PT boat with a 76 cannon on it and that's it? Mitscher class destroyer. Really? I want to Google this now. It's, what is it? So it's a missile destroyer. Will we finally get some sort of missiles in the game for ships? Preceded by the Norfolk class. Built in 1949 and 1954. Commissioned, that must be a typo, commissioned 1953 to 1978. Destroyer leader. After her conversion to a guided missile destroyer. So it was a conversion. The same thing with, actually in my city, we have a converted Cleveland. I can't remember if it's a Cleveland or a Baltimore. Also thanks, Bidoof, about that. See, I could post some World of Warship stuff. It's also part of the reason is, like, I don't want to go through making a video. Let me tell you, as a content creator, it is very demotivating. Like, I made that Leopard PT-16 compilation. Spent like a good day editing it and trying to get ideas for memes, and it got like 500 views. When I know I can make a video like that can get way more if I just either have a different tag or I make a different thumbnail. So sometimes it's like pretty fucking demotivating to put a lot of effort into something that you're not even getting, what, a quarter of your sub base in return. So, you know. But yeah, what was I saying? Okay, so the Baltimore, I think it was a converted Baltimore class in my city. And to be honest, like, if they keep adding missile destroyers but they don't get missiles, like, I don't care. Like, Naval still is so shit. Like, I'm serious. Naval isn't interesting. Like, who, like, who in the hell, okay, wants to grind naval and get these cool ships and like you get like two 127s and you fire HE at a fucking what cruiser? Like, wow, that's amazing. The cruiser's gonna hit you with 12 guns and you have two pew pews, you know? So I don't know. I don't know. Naval's development makes no sense to me. It's like, so we started off with PT boats, then we went to destroyers, then we went to cruisers, then we went to dreadnoughts. So let's go back in time. Then let's go forward in time. So you have ships between the years of like 1909 to 1950 in the same battle rating. It doesn't make any sense. Like, who the you know? So, yeah. That last thing, by the way, I saw someone inquire about that. That last thing, it's a South African vehicle. Um, I think it's called, like, what the hell is it called? Landsverk or something? I can't remember the name. I gotta launch War Game to see it. I don't remember. 60k rev cost is the only thing keeping me away from blue water. Well, oh, you bet your ass this thing will have a 70,000 repair cost the moment it's added to the game. Like, literally, oh, Yistervark. Yeah, I had a feeling I ended up with Vark. Yeah, I'm serious. That's the thing about Naval. They wonder why no one plays it. And it's like, you add ships that cost 70,000 to repair. Like, who the who? Who's gonna be like, oh, could you imagine? Could you guys imagine for a minute? I'll get to your comments in a minute, but could you just imagine? Just picture it. Okay? Captain Torres style, just picture it. Imagine you're playing War Thunder, okay? It's 2019. They just added the M1A1. And you're like, oh wow, I'm gonna grind the American tree to get this M1A1. And you're stuck at like, say, the M26 Pershing. And they put the Abrams repair cost at 40k. Are you gonna grind for that? No, you're not gonna grind for that. That's what they keep doing with Naval. Like, people are like, oh wow, I might go for the Baltimore, or not the Baltimore. What's the injury? The Pittsburgh, and then they add it, and then you're like, wow, I'm not gonna make any credits from this thing. And then they wonder why Naval is in a bigger game mode. Like, what? A lot of people that aren't Naval enthusiasts would probably like to play Naval. It's not worth playing because it's not interesting and it's expensive. Flip Stuck, like, legit quit War Thunder because, like, they just kept adding dumb shit. Like, so, meanwhile, German World War II interceptor fights Soviet jet from 1985. Yeah. Oh, that's another thing too, by the way. I should have mentioned that at the beginning of my rant about making content on War Thunder. If you're not in Discord, which I'm gonna shamelessly plug now, you should join Discord. It's in the description of all of my YouTube videos. Probably should have been in the stream description, but I didn't bother. I legitimately said when I saw that those previous battle rating changes came out, I said on Discord, like, I think it was like maybe 8 people in VC at the time, I said, I legitimately won't be making almost any War Thunder content if they go through with these BR changes. Even if they just half-ass us and they give us a couple, like the dumb ones, it doesn't matter. I was like, I'm legit going to be so demotivated to play this game if they add these. And they added in the battle rating changes. And I'm like, bro, like, I'm like, what? I used to really enjoy jets from, like, the early jet age all the way up to, like, the modern ones. But they slapped from like, what, 1944? Because the 163 was, like, a 1943 or 44 concept. All the way up to 1980-something? Like, in the same two battle rating spreads? Like, who the fuck enjoys that? Really, who goes into War Thunder and plays an F-86 Sabre because they're a Sabre enthusiast anymore? Who does that? If you're doing that, you're You're a masochist. Okay? like, like I used to really enjoy the F-86F2, and then I'm like, why would I play that? How? Why would I even play the F-100? Everything fucking air spawns now. I'm literally telling, if everyone just got together and was like, make Air RB Enduring Confrontation a permanent game mode in the event tab, like you did with heli battles in Sim, it would fix so many issues, and you would see most of the Air RB community go and play that instead of normal Air RB, because you would actually be able to climb in something and not just get killed by something that air spawns. I like to play the SU-7 in Air RB when I'm feeling like an asshole, because every asshole that is in an SU-7 is killing people that are spawning in F-86s and taking off. Like in the Harrier still goes mock on a dive, I think. I haven't played it in forever. You know, it's like, who wants to play that? That's what I'm talking about. The game is, when the game isn't interesting anymore, it's because they keep doing shit like that. So, yeah, that battle rating change, when they introduced that, I'm like, I'm not playing this game anymore. Even if they play top tier Jet RB, the spotting system, chaff not functioning as it should, ghost missiles, all this other shit. Like, I don't want to play that. So when they went through that battle rating change, I instantly went back to World of Warships. Like, I'm not even kidding. In the midst of World of Warships being this massive PR dumpster fire, which ultimately they don't give a fuck about. They make too much money. Who gives a shit? And that was the same thing with those battle rating changes. I had like an epiphany. Like right now I'm watching the Warships community cry about subs. Right? So we'll do a little. We'll chat for a bit now. We'll chat for a bit. I don't have like a specific screen to put up, but we'll chat for a bit. I legitimately am laughing my ass off at how much the Warships community is crying about subs and CVs. They try to jab CVs when they ran about subs. They just jab CVs whenever they get a chance to. I've never had an issue with CVs except twice. I got nuked by a Hakuryu in a Montano once. Out of all of the time I've played World of Warships, I have only been nuked by a CV once. Because I played CVs, and I know how CVs work, and I know how they operate, and I know how to counter them. As a battleship player, I never had issues with CVs. I've had slight issue with subs, but that was because I was getting focused down. It wouldn't have mattered whether this is the thing about some people, right? It doesn't matter whether the sub was there or not. The sub didn't make the difference between the fact that my team just threw their ships away, right? And with this recent battle rating change with War Thunder, I just found the realization, I'm like, you know what? I can't give a shit anymore. I'd rather just not play the game and find something else to play, to enjoy playing, than to keep bitching about it. Because with say like with helicopters, right? With the K-50 for the longest time, they finally kind of did fix the issue of heli rushing with the K-52 and stuff. But Gaijin put a lot of time into making helicopters work, right? They're not just going to throw that all away. Like, Wargaming isn't going to throw all the time away that they spent working on fixing CVs and adding subs. They're not just going to throw that out the window. They spent years and thousands upon thousands of dollars in resources paying people, getting design, stuff like that, sending people out for visual references, sounds, and all that shit, right? So, like, I don't care anymore. I'm like, literally, I get into like comment section disputes with people. I'm like, who gives a shit? At the end of the day, the only CV in World of Warships that can change a game is the FDR, because the FDR's planes are tanks and they do a shit ton of damage. It's legitimately everything that embodied the old CV system put into a ship, locked away to a few people that consistently play clan battles and ranked and get a lot of steel, right? So with this, the recent battle rating change, I had an epiphany. I'm like, you know what? There's no point in disputing it anymore. You can still talk about shit. Like I talked about my concern with the creators. Like I can still voice my concern, but if you're expecting them to give a shit, you're doing it wrong, because they're not gonna give a shit. They're just not. I've had a lot of opinion change from when I made my cash cow video. My opinion has changed after that video specifically. My opinion on War Thunder and a lot of games like it has changed a lot. So I might seem like a hypocrite at sometimes if you go back and you watch what I say then and what I say now. I probably have been a little bit of a hypocrite, but it's because my opinion on matters has changed a lot of times in the span of a year, I would say. So, you know, like people are gonna spend money on games whether whether you like it or not. If they really enjoy a game or they really want something real bad, they're gonna spend money on it. I do the same thing. I spend a lot of money on games. I have the money, you know. People that don't have the money and they wail on games are being stupid. Okay. Those are the people that get really frustrated. They're wailing on a game. They're expecting that all of their money that they're putting into it and they have none left for their own personal use, you know, has been going towards nothing. Then, well, in a way, that's kind of your fucking fault because you spend you could have gone and you could have bought a fucking car with all that money. You know, and instead you wasted it on loot boxes and fucking Call of Duty. Like, how do you feel? You know? So, essentially, I've just learned not to really care anymore. If they add craters in, they're adding craters into the game. Look, the trailer's there, right? There's craters. You can say, no, we don't want craters. It's going to break the game. It's going to ruin this. It's going to ruin that. Blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. They're still going to add it anyways. Who knows how long they've been working on it? Like I said, they test things in Enlisted and throw them into War Thunder because they're easier to test in the shooter setting than they are in like the tank combat setting. That's literally what they did. What was the other thing Enlisted did? I can't remember now. That they tested and Enlisted and it made it into War Thunder. I'm trying to think. It's completely lost my mind, but I would be able to bring it up in any other discussion. But yeah, they're just gonna do whatever the fuck they want. And you're not going to stop them. So, I've been rolling on the floor laughing at the warships community. Because, like, with the tier 11 shit, if those of you that have been paying attention or play warships know, they're, like, making, like, super ships that are basically tier 11. I literally commented on Flamu's video. I said, War Thunder players be like, what, first time? Because that's what it's like. Like, I'm not joking. That's legitimately how it is. It's just like the warships community has no idea how bad it can get. They think that this is bad. They don't know the fucking half of it, okay? They don't know the half of it yet. So I'm enjoying watching that community just cry. It's great. I fucking love it. It's hilarious. They have no idea how bad it can get. What? Sure, Watt's a shit show. They've done a lot of stupid shit. Again, nowhere near what War Thunder has done. So, yeah. Kind of a little bit of a rant over, but it's ass watching a game you love go down the drain. Yeah, it really is. It's a shame. It is a shame. Like, I've been playing War Thunder since I was 14, maybe 13. Like, I had another epiphany with War Thunder. Like I said, my opinion had slowly been changing over the years, and especially in the past year or two. I had this point where when I graduated high school, okay, which was almost 4 years ago now. Graduated high school, you know, War Thunder's still coming along. I would say in 2020, probably, last year, maybe 2019. I realized I have gone through multiple life milestones and like my childhood and my teenage years. I have legitimately gone through middle school and high school like seeing this game, and there are still issues that have persisted the entire time. I have had half of my life play out so far of how many years I've been on this earth, have like a quarter of my life play out, and this game, it still has the same issues. Like, think about that. Like, literally, let that sink in for a second. you have probably gone through multiple milestones in your life, and this game still has some pretty basic problems. So, shut my fucking earbuds. Yeah, I had that realization last year, and I'm like, you know what, who gives a shit? I still watch content creators that have been in the game longer than I have, been complaining about the same shit, and I'm like, buddy, this it's not happening. They're not fixing it. Bitch about it all you want. I bitch about it all I want too, but guess what? They ain't fucking fixing it, because they don't seem to give a shit. If it's a limitation of the engine, well, there you go. It would be nice if Gaijin just told you that they can't do something because it actually literally physically cannot be done, and there is no way that they can work around it. When they said that about missiles, that was kind of complete bullshit, because it was like within a month they had ATGMs in the game. I mean, pretty much every mechanic since ATGMs has always kind of had a half-assed way of being integrated into the game, and there's massive flaws with it. So started playing this game on a flip book in elementary school. Yeah, that's funny. But yeah, like I'm serious. Think about that. A lot of you have probably gone through high school playing this game, and it's had the same shit. Hell, games like Call of Duty still have some problems, and I played Call of Duty when I was like, I don't know, maybe 7. I was playing Microsoft Flight Simulator 2000 and whatever when I was like 6 years old, 5 or 6 years old. So, you know, that's how it goes. That's how it be. But in the end, you can't really worry about it too much. If they add this update in and these craters turn out to not be an issue, who cares? Who cares? But there's gonna be the people. I don't know if they're watching now. I don't know. Might be one of you. I don't know. I don't know if you're watching. I'm gonna say this. If you continue to bitch and nothing changes, might as well just drop it. Like literally every single gaming community always has a point where they just start saying everything is a problem. Every new edition is a problem. And if it is, and you still like playing the game, then stop bitching about it. You know, it's like, it's whatever. It's funny though. At this point, it really is funny to just make fun of battle rating changes for the sake of making fun of them. Or like I know Spookston definitely has like a legitimate passion, and like he does legitimately have concerns. But when people were making fun of Spookston about the Aegis TVL thing, like, look, he was trying to get a vehicle to actually behave somewhat normally and somewhat balanced. And like the Aegis TVL isn't an issue. I don't have a problem facing them. They're at 10.7 like it always should have been, and performing like it always should have been, right? Like it's fun to rag on Gaijin for things for the sake of, look, a lot of YouTubers, I'm not saying it's true, but I would assume a lot of them like making some negative content for the sake of just making negative content because it gets views, and a lot of them acknowledge it, right? The ones that do, they acknowledge it, okay? I would acknowledge it too. Like, if you're just ragging on the game to rag on the game because it gets you views, you're going to do it. It's how YouTube works. I would do it too. I would acknowledge it. Just doing it for the shits and gigs because you know it gets clicks. It's what happens. If you own it rather than try and lie and be a piece of shit, then it works better that way if you actually own it. But if you're being a piece of shit, people are going to give you shit for it. So, you know, I know there aren't many games like War Thunder, and you don't have to, doesn't have to be an alternative to War Thunder. You can just play another game. Like, I go and I play World of Warships, or like now I'm playing Warframe again. Eventually, you'll find games interesting again. At some point down the line, I might find War Thunder super, super interesting again. And running your channel just off of War Thunder doesn't always work, and trying to change is the hardest part because people won't want to watch you. I have what, 4,400 subs right now? Almost all of them subscribed for most likely War Thunder. So when you make your content on a new game, most of those people aren't going to watch because they don't want to watch that game. More open-minded people will watch. It's okay, it's whatever, but changing is kind of the thing. right? So if you're someone like Baron jumped ship early. Baron made content on lots of other games. Baron is very successful, right? So 4.48K. Well, there you go. I was hoping to be at 10,000 subs with the way my channel growth was going. What, 6 months ago was it? I was hoping to be at 10,000 subs by the end of 2020 or maybe midway through 2021, but like I'm not there. I just the algorithms haven't been kind to me, and I'm not calling anyone out here, although they'll know you'll know who I'm alluding to. But a lot of channels have just basically turned War Thunder into a game where you make content on it like it's fucking TikTok, or like it's like a fucking Instagram post. Like people's content is just the community tab, which I would do the same thing. I use the community tab for a lot of stuff too. But it's like some people legitimately just whatever they're doing are biting the algorithm chain harder than others. And like people can do whatever they want, whatever they want to make content on. I don't care. But it's kind of annoying when someone can make a 10-second shit post every single day with very, very little effort and instantly I don't want to use the word steal because it describes like if as if there was an intent to do it on purpose, but I'm going to use it anyways. It basically steals the effort from people who actually put a lot of work into making a video and dropping a video out that's a decent length, has decent editing. Like I'm not the best editor. I try to do what I can, you know. But that's I find that annoying. I find that a channel can put almost zero effort into videos, and just because YouTube's trying to go along with the crowd and they're trying to copy fucking TikTok, which is annoying as shit, it works. Like I don't like how War Thunder's content now, like I think even a lot of my own friends don't watch my content anymore because it doesn't show up in their tabs, or they just don't bother because like War Thunder isn't that kind of game anymore. Like War Thunder has been like turned into a game that you open up your phone and there's a community post or some stupid 10-second shit post you watch and then you close your phone. So, you know, that's kind of my take on things currently, and why I think I'm ready to jump ship on War Thunder soon, because it's annoying as fuck. I can go stream World of Warships and probably get like a better time out of it than streaming War Thunder and just getting mad that the game just isn't enjoyable. So anyways, I'll get to your comments now. Let's see. Chat for a bit longer. I don't want to. I was gonna maybe ask everyone if they wanted to see me play a game, but it wouldn't have been War Thunder. Let me tell you, make a stream talking about a War Thunder teaser, and not launching and playing War Thunder because I don't feel like playing it. Like, zero right now. YouTube rewards low effort. That's why I quit YouTube. Yeah, pretty much. If you make War Thunder a chore, then you're not gonna enjoy it. I wasn't even looking at making content as like a chore. I was looking at it to make something that eventually I could build up a community where I can actually start like monetizing it and not feeling guilty and like I'm begging. I would like to have had my goal was to reach 10,000 subs, start either a Patreon or just I could even right now I could set it up. I could set up like donations on stream if I were to start streaming frequently. I've been unemployed for months now. I really have had a lot of time to make content, but a lot of it gets interrupted. Thankfully, I've had some time where I can just sit and do things, you know. But yeah, like I don't want to ask for money when I can't offer anything in return. That's why I didn't want to set up a Patreon. There's nothing I can offer in return and stay true to it and be consistent enough to have people spending money. It's not what I want to do. Because to me, morally, just begging for money is really dumb, and to me, kind of an asshole move if I started doing that. It's hard to keep the urge from just starting to set up all these monetization things and begging people to give me fucking pennies, really. Like, I'm not going to do that until I reach a certain point where I would actually be able to have a rhythm down and a consistency to actually warrant people donating me money. You know, eventually, when I can move on and live on my own, and I could do things consistently, then maybe. But for right now, I don't want to do that. I don't want to ask for money when I can't owe people anything. Especially with the way that YouTube doesn't reward me for putting in the effort. Twitch, maybe. I have some people I want to ask about Twitch stuff, and I might start mainly streaming Twitch. Even if it's not consistent, when I want to stream or I want to play games, stream Twitch. Do I play Enlisted? Yes, I do play Enlisted. I actually have some premium time I should probably be using up right now and working in the Battle Pass. Although, like I said earlier, I don't know if you were watching, I really, really, really despise how Enlisted doesn't have any building destruction. I don't like playing the game, and buildings are fucking concrete bunkers. They're made of wood. Right? Like, you're playing on Normandy, and the buildings are made of wood, and they're sitting there. And maybe I actually enjoy Normandy the most, because Normandy's buildings are all designed to be already half destroyed. A lot of the terrain is already in a destroyed setting. I don't like the Tunisia campaign because everything is clean, pristine sandstone that has the reinforced concrete strength that it has, which is stupid. I find that dumb. I played with a friend of mine, and there was a cap on Invasion where it's a 3-story building, and there are so many shoot holes at that cap zone that the entire enemy team can sit on it, and their AI can be cannon fodder, and the players can shoot out the windows, and they held the cap the entire time. And apparently the attacking team has the advantage, from what I've been told by enlisted CCs that play more than me. Apparently, I've never found that to be the case on Tunisia. Specifically, I've never found that to be the case. And then they thought, well, if you just have buildings explode into rubble, people are just going to take a dive bomber and they're going to suicide into the building and they're going to blow it up and then you're going to take the cap. Like, okay, well, how about we make it that buildings have a specific destructed model? You blow it up, it crumbles into a certain specific design that doesn't just make it like straight up Siege of Shanghai fucking rubble from Battlefield 4, okay? Something that is still playable, but I'm sick and tired of people sitting in a window unafraid of artillery, air support, high explosive from tanks. If tank HE was improved, maybe we could keep buildings the way they are. But while I do enjoy playing Enlisted, I don't enjoy that the biggest problem with the game is when an objective is a building and it can't be destroyed, it is really, really hard to win as the attacking team. Or if you, vice versa as the defending team, it's kind of fucking boring to sit in a building for a very, very long time shooting people in they run the same train route every time. The game gets very boring very quickly. Its gameplay, while it is fun and you can turn your brain off and it's very casual, it gets boring as hell after like 4 matches. If Battlefield 2042 comes out and it's not the buggy mess that the beta was, but I really don't have hopes, I will very much enjoy playing Battlefield 2042 or even going back to play BF4 way more than I will have ever enjoyed playing Enlisted or playing War Thunder. Because for some reason, a lot of people in War Thunder and Enlisted don't like this, but battlefields aren't static. Okay? World War II wasn't just fucking static. The Germans holding out some bunker on Normandy it wasn't just impervious to shell fire and bombs for 200 hours, right? Eventually things change. And with War Thunder, with these craters and stuff like that, Dynamic battlefields are fun. They are fun. They're not boring. They might get campy, but dynamic battlefields is what makes warfare fun. Arma and Battlefield have this down to a T. A dynamic battlefield offers you the ability to not just keep spawning as a rifleman and running into the same building like you do in Enlisted and shooting the same guy on the same stairway over and over and over again for 500 hours until you finally unlock the Thompson or something stupid like that. Rush and Battlefield was literally super fun. Both teams had an equal chance of winning if they did things right. Okay? And eventually, like, could you imagine if you played Rush and Battlefield no matter the map? Now, some maps were like, say, like Metro or something. But take, for instance, a map in Battlefield where there was Rush and the objective was in a building or around buildings. Could you imagine playing Battlefield and the buildings didn't get destroyed? There wasn't craters in the ground. There wasn't windows getting blown out. Could you imagine how much worse of a game Battlefield 3 and 4 would have been if they didn't have the kind of destruction that they did? It would have been if say that was how it happened and then Enlisted came out, you would be like, "Wow, this is just Battlefield." You would literally have that exact reaction because it wouldn't have changed. There wouldn't have been no dynamic shit. Dynamic battlefields make games less stale. Static battlefields are fucking boring. If I want to play a static combat game, I'll go play CSGO. Literally. I'll go play CSGO or I'll play an old Call of Duty where there's like just the map, guns, tanks, whatever, kill streaks, that's it. You're done. Right? Now, dynamic can go too far. I will admit. Dynamic, it can be stupid. It does have unforeseen consequences. Stuff like that, okay? You understand that can be a possibility. But those can be worked around with map design and stuff. The problem is Gaijin is adding this kind of mechanic. How many years have we had tank maps in the game? 4? 5? 5 might be a bit too much. How long? I can't remember when tanks came out now. It leaves me. Literally, imagine if terrain deformation would have been in War Thunder since the beginning of Ground Forces. We would have gotten used to it. Would have been a part of the game. It would be fine. And the maps that they had made since then would have been made around that in mind. You're going to get this terrain deformation shit on Corellia, which has really, really sharp hills. So someone's going to bomb out a hill, and then you aren't getting up to the beat cap. Right? Or, let's see here. Let me think. Kuban. People are going to bomb the entrances to the camp. So, like, I think a lot of people, for some reason, think that, like, warfare went a certain way, and that was, like, just how it went. Like, because, like, in a way, yes, history is history. And, like what you just said, like, wasn't artillery. Yeah, World War I was a very static war. It was the last of really static wars. And guess what? It was a really boring fucking war. It was a really boring war. It was a boring, bloody, muddy war. And no one enjoyed it. No one at all enjoyed that war. I shouldn't say enjoyed, but that war wasn't worth fighting for a lot of people. A lot of people just sat in a fucking trench, got artilleried, and died. Like that was World War I in a nutshell. Why have there not been a lot of games talking about World War I? Because it was very static. It was a very boring, time-consuming war that lasted a long time and did nothing. Battlefield 1, I mean, I know there's that other trench game I can't think of that, but Battlefield 1 made what do you call it? Battlefield 1 made World War 1 setting a little bit more like dynamic. Like it wasn't just sitting in a trench. So Battlefield 1 was actually one of my favorite Battlefield games. It was very interesting. So yeah. They sound like an old man always complaining about anything they do. Just see what the update is hoping to be. Ironically, you say that because I'm actually not really saying that. I actually said earlier the opposite. I'm not opposed to the creators. I'm not opposed to anything that they're adding in this update. I don't really care. Verdun, that's what it's called, yeah. Verdun. But yeah, no, I'm not. Trust me, there are people that I know right now, players, content creators, and the like, that are instantaneously complaining. Like, trust me, I'm one of the more moderate people on this. I don't really give a shit. There's gonna be some problems, but I don't care. If it changes up more than just gameplay, I actually like it. If it makes the game more dynamic, I like it. I don't always like spawning, doing the same CCAP rush, and then doing this, and then doing that strat, and then doing this strat. It gets boring. I got over games like CSGO, all these staticky kind of war games when I was like 10. They got boring really quickly. So, again, ironic you say that, but I'm actually complaining about the people complaining more than I am complaining about Gaijin. I actually don't care. With Enlisted, though, I really don't like that game is very static. If Enlisted had more destruction, I would think it's a good game. Let's see here. Let me scroll up chat a little bit. If the current system works, then change it up. Adapt or die. Yeah. See, I've tried adapting. I've tried adapting to the algorithm. I've tried making a couple videos. Like the one I dropped the other day. I don't know if you saw it. People thought I didn't know how Moz works. I know how Moz works. The video was completely clickbait. Like, it was literally just clickbait. I even put it in the description. I'm like, I don't remember exactly what I said, but like, I'm just doing this to see. I had made a couple of shorts, whether the YouTube actually turned them into shorts or not, or just threw them in the algorithm. I don't know. But I have tried changing up the system. There are just some people that can do it more than I can because they have a different life schedule, or they find more creative freedom and stuff like that. So, oh, I forgot I was still deafened in Discord. Hey Soviet, sorry about that. I forgot. Undeafened myself earlier.
What do you hate?
I can't even hear you. Oh wait, hold on. I know why. Turn my headset back on. My headset cuts sound out. Forgot.
Fine.
Alright, what were we saying?
Oh, I was just saying, I woke up and just saw the trailer.
Oh, okay. It's going to mix things up massively. A bit like when the BF5 introduced being able to build sandbag walls. 2 different weeks, machine gun fire, die, repeat. Yeah. The Tempest is right too. The funniest part is I like the naval aiming change. Just don't play naval. It's because it's expensive to play. It's not worth playing. It's not interesting.
I mean, it's what, 60k SL for a cruiser?
Did I say Buffalo? Yeah, this is the Buffalo APC. Or not the Buffalo. It might be the other one. But yeah, we already established what this was earlier. The Yestervark or whatever. That thing will be fun. I don't know what battle rating it'll be. But and I wonder if you'll be able to play it with the sights up and be forced to just shoot like an AA. Let's see. Oh, it doesn't let me scroll through my whole chat. What the hell, Streamlabs? What the hell? I can't like keep going up through chat messages. That's dumb.
Guess you gotta go to the...
Yeah, I would have to go over to the actual YouTube comments themselves. That's a shame.
What did you think about the weasel, by the way?
Glad they're in game finally, but I'm kind of skeptical at how annoying they'll be at what battle rating they place them at.
True.
If they let the weasel sit at like 7.3, I'm gonna kind of have an issue with it. But the Sam one, it might be a bit different. Oh, it does like the German flag. I don't know. It has the. You can see the side panel right there. I wonder if they'll let us do that, or
I
if they'll just
thought
have to be opened up.
I thought that weasel was like IR though.
Yeah, that's it's IR, but it's a weasel. It's tiny.
I bet you they're gonna
I
make it
guarantee
IR.
you, the toe will be 8.3. The weasel will be 7.3, or the weasel 20 will be 7.3, and then this will be 9.3. I'm calling it right now. Calling it right now.
You're calling it
9.3,
now?
7.3, 8.3. Or possibly maybe 9.7. I don't know. I forget what this was the weasel also like gets. Guarantee you. We placing bets, chat? Place bets. Place bets in the chat right now.
I'll take you up on that bet. I agree with you.
If I'm like 100% right, I'm gonna be scared. I'm gonna be scared.
Wait, where are you placing the 30 mil variant?
7.3. Is it a 30 mil? I thought it was a 20 mil.
I think it's a 30. What?
Then maybe 7.7 or 8.0. If it's a 30. But if it's a 20 like the Martyr, then it would be like 7.3. What was the other thing? The British where the hell is it? Where's the Britbong IFE? The Stormer 30.
No, I'm completely wrong. It's a 20 mil. 20 mil.
Yeah, if it's a 20 mil and 7.3. Let's say I don't remember the Weasel having a 30 mil dog.
I thought it was. Disregard it.
Fuck. Go back. Even if this is the Stormer, it basically looks identical to the Dardo. And the Dardo has the exact same CITV mount right here. It has the exact same viewport, the exact same commander cupola, the toe mount, everything.
Wait, what about the mirror right there?
The mirror, the Dardo
Yeah.
has that as well.
Does there?
Let's do Stormer 30. And Dardo IFB. What the fly video. Fly thumbnail. Nice meme fly. This is the Dardo with the 60 mil.
They made a Dardo.
War Machine just sub. Thank you, War. Let's see. There. Can we get it with... Oh, no, that's a dude. That's a dude. I thought that was the camera. Where the hell? I want... No. I want like a close-in turret picture. I can't find one. Italy's searching for new combat vehicles. Oh yeah, isn't this something that Germany made? Is this... This doesn't look like the Lynx entirely, but it looks similar.
I don't...
Let me just interrupt here. With the size of those weasels, though, you can bet one of them's going to be like 7 or 7.3. The 20 mil.
That's what we're saying. Or that's what Steele was saying. He's saying the 20 mil is going to be 7.3. The toe will be 8.0 or 8.3. And then the SAM will be like...
That
9,
mirror is
7,
pretty far
10.
down. I need a picture with a Dardo with a mirror on it. Where is... No. There's a mirror picture right there. Low res is shit. Oh my god. Italy, get better cameras. God damn. Yeah. No, I'm convinced that this is the Dardo with an upgrade package, to be honest. Cause Arrow, I think it was Arrow, and someone else I think inquired about the Dardo's upgrade package.
I mean,
That's a Dardo, Chief.
Is
That
that
is
just gonna
not
give
a-
it like a commander optic? That's it. Or does it get new toes or
See,
something?
this is the Stormer 30. This is the Stormer 30.
Uh-huh.
Okay. See this sight and that sight. That sight is mounted onto another piece. This sight is integrated on the turret roof.
Okay.
Now there maybe a little bit differently. We can debate on that. But actually, no, I might be wrong here. Might be wrong. They're basically the same tank. It's just you can't see the chassis. But you can see where the mirror is. Fuck. Wait, yeah, no, hold on. Let me look at the breach again. Yeah, I'm wrong. That's the circular breach. Yeah. Yeah, it's a Stormer then. But like I said, the Dardo would have almost exactly the same upgrade package with that CITV. It's supposed to. So maybe you'll see that the foreskin. I like how you all are calling it the foreskin. The Stormer foreskin.
Man, what the fuck?
Stormer foreskin. Senor Steel.
But yeah, okay. I take it back then. I forgot to look at the foreskin. The Shalom skin.
Stop. Stop.
Yeah. Yeah, Stormer 30. But again, I think the Dardo will get that CITV upgrade as well. So, yeah, both of them. I mean, Britain has been in a what's that called? Down bad for a new IFV. Britain's been down bad.
Well, if Britain made another IFV, maybe they'll get one.
Hashtag military budget.
Look, the Italians want good food, okay? They spend more of their military budget on them getting pasta than they do with their vehicles, okay?
Sounds like a EU problem.
I do
Italian.
kind of
Well,
want that
trade.
Dardo 60 mil too. That looked pretty interesting. Made it
Is that
like it
like-
would do any damage.
Is that like the Obel 60
yes.
mil?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, fun.
Except on a Dardo, so not wheeled. So in War Thunder would be better. I forgot
better
Dardo
already.
can float, right? It's supposed to be amphibious.
I
Oh, I've seen this in Arma, the Frisia. Remember seeing this in an Italian mod. It's basically Italy's LAV. There's a
Cool.
30 mil Dardo. I didn't know that. Shit, man. I'm also surprised we haven't seen the C13 TUA yet. It's an AW. It's this. It's the Wally on a Italian chassis. More Dardo type light tanks would be pretty cool.
Please, God, no more fucking Wallies. I beg you.
Honestly, the fact that they even added this is just kind of funny. The C13 with the 90. That's just it's bad.
What if they just trolled us and we're all sitting here thinking, is it the Stormer 30 or a new Dardo? And it's just both.
The Peng Dagny mod. Yeah, that's where I saw it from. You know what's really funny? So we've had Britain have leaked documents. We've had France leak documents.
Sweden next.
Where's the Italian with the documents?
I'm waiting for someone to armor drop the Ariete. I'm waiting for someone to be like, actually, it has this much armor, and then they get thrown in pasta jail, and they have to eat undercooked pasta. It's not even al dente. They just have to.
And then they get waterboarded with the leftover pasta water.
Oh my god.
Oh, Wolfram, you asshole! You just gave me a new thing. Oh. So I'll be like,
Where else did
I
you
can tell
post
my
our
cousin
leaked
to
doc?
shut up before I waterboard him with the leftover pasta water.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah. You know what CV90 I want? I want the CV90 from AW. I want the 50. The 50 mil CV.
No, the
Bye,
Norwegian.
Noki. I
See,
won't
the
try to
Norwegian-
pronounce that again, so I'm just going to call you Dave.
Just call him Nochi. No, you're not Jingles. See you, Nochi.
What you really want is you want the CV90 Mark IV with spikes.
Yeah.
You know what I want? The SAR Bomber.
The other day, Spookster made another video about tanks he doesn't see in War Thunder, and he was talking about the Perez, the Israeli thing.
The what?
Because it's the Israeli, it's the fake tank with the spike missiles.
Oh.
That thing would be pretty fucking cancer. I agree with him wholeheartedly on that one. Although I don't think Gaijin would want to add it to begin with. That would be a massive balancing issue. But they did test spikes in the April Fool's event, so I don't know. You never know, bud.
I don't know. It seems like a good idea to me.
At the Dairy and the Stormer 30, I've noticed a trait that points towards it being the Stormer. Yeah, because of the foreskin. It's all in the foreskin. I can make an Italians getting not having foreskin joke, but I'm not going to.
Someone's asking what the truck at the end of the trailer was. It's some South African looking thing.
Called the no, not the animal. Bag. There we go. This thing.
Yeah,
We
it's
can
a little
even
up
get
to
this one. There we go. There's a good picture of
at
it.
the end. Oh, the Cape Porcupine.
Apparently, we're never gonna get that Stormer HVM because, or not Stormer HVM, Roycat HVM because apparently they didn't have enough data on it or something. This thing looks hilarious.
Dude,
This
that
is
little
real.
that little AA for South Africa is going to be cool. It's just going to keep reminding me of Black Ops 2 now.
What do you mean they didn't have enough data?
Apparently, I don't know if they didn't have enough data on the missiles or something.
Interesting.
Can you confirm that we don't do the choppy like most Americans?
Oh my god.
He has said, I don't see why both the Stormer 30 and the Dardo 30 can't come at the same time. Oh, that's true. That's true. Oh, and speaking of which, here's the Dozer Type 74, which means I gotta grind through Japan now before they add another one. They shouldn't have added the Type 74C if they were gonna add a Dozer one. Jesus. Spiciest meatball. Tank Encyclopedia. Well, anyways, I've been streaming for an hour and a half now. I would maybe like to play something on stream. I could separate them into two different streams if I wanted to. How many of you would be up to watch me play a bit of South African war game
Oh no.
for like a match or two? I'm gonna play against AI anyways. I'm not playing real multiplayer. People in this game, they're fucking toxic as hell. So I'm not playing real multiplayer.
The clerk rushed down the highway.
Just shut up. We don't
Three
talk
things
about that
together
here.
were Sweden. No, they're German. Well, they did give the Centurion AVRE the ability to repair people, so even if they're not squad mates, so it wasn't entirely useless, but now it has more
Plus-
utility.
I swear to God, if we play 7 or 7-3 and all that, and we keep seeing AVREs just building walls to the caps,
We're gonna add more
Not-
tanks with
I
dozer
mean,
blades. Yeah, and then we just saw
not-
Type 74.
I mean, not only that, like all the
or
Russian
a
tanks.
PE8 just cratering a cap,
Oh yeah,
so no
true.
one can cap it unless they drive into a hole and get stuck.
All the Russian tanks are gonna be able to do that too. I forgot.
Well, let me play my war game.
They're definitely going to add more tanks with dozer blades.
Yeah, I'm gonna play war game now. I'm gonna give me a
Depends on how hostile the community gets to when it releases, but we know Gaijin doesn't really care.
And also, what maps can we do it on though?
I would say pretty much every map with soft ground.
I was wondering if they would allow you to chew up the tile of like something like the Italy map.
Oh yes, I'd love to destroy Italian infrastructure.
With the T90M. At that point, just add the T90AM.
I'm curious, how many of those little Yesterbark things can I spam?
4. I don't know.
And then there's also the boss Fark, which is the other thing, the Chocotera in the back. I can get 38 of these. You just spam them. If you were to be like, this is the new T-34 rush. Just what's it? Funny those. Yeah. You know what's funny? This thing in War Thunder, I realized that this thing would probably be shit War Thunder if it can't carry any extra missiles, because in this game, it only carries 4. Now I thought for some reason that it actually carried 8. I thought that these were splits in the tubes. Unless Wargame has it wrong. But like only 4 missiles kind of suck. This thing actually isn't really that good. What's that? This is radar.
What?
This is IR.
ZA.
Oh, I didn't realize that. The ZA HVM. I didn't actually realize that the cactus one was an iron one. You guys want to join me for a match against some AI or what?
I not have it downloaded.
SMH. Look at all the muted players I have. All the other people that just spam my chat. That was annoying. think one of them had a funny name for a while.
Funny name.
Anti-Semitic. Oh my god. This game has like the most retarded player base I have ever seen.
Basically just Putin gay sex.
I'm actually surprised that
racial
even though I'm
snips.
talking in war game chat right now, no one has spammed anything. That is interesting.
Players muted. Midget pride.
Yeah, I've got a couple other funny ones here. Big Meat Special. That's a funny one. Big Meat Special. But he was spamming the N-word in my chat. Is really cock culty? Okay. Yeah, I'm glad I have these people muted.
Yeah, if they had the fucking bulldozer Sherman, that would be fun.
They're definitely gonna add it now. There's no way that they don't.
What's the one with the chains on it? I can't remember the name of it. It's not the
Can't
crocodile.
remember,
That
but
was
it's-
that was the flamethrower one.
The one with the chains, that's the mind flare. To get rid of mines.
Yeah, it would be useless in Warhammer.
No, you just
Unless you
drive up to
unless
an
you unless you
R3.
unless you want to ear rape the enemy.
You
Drive up to the
walk into
R3
an
that's pinned in the
R3.
corner, and you just keep
Oh,
whipping him with the
no.
chains, and the vehicle just turns to a metal
Oh my
mesh.
god, that's fucked.
Or you just drive up to an enemy tank and deafen them with the fucking chain smacking noise.
Yeah. So knocking up all of the street on Rhine, it's just dust everywhere. I don't know what map I want to play on. I want to play, maybe. What is this map? I don't want to play that map. I'm gonna play Highway to Seoul. I don't know if that's fun. Some AI in here. The highway straight to my soul.
Why, yes, South Africa and Seoul.
Yeah, this makes sense, doesn't it? Totally.
Yep,
Could you imagine if
basically
they made a
create
mini
your
war
own
game
terms.
that was just about like South Africa and like all the mini conflicts?
Esteban, I'm sure you could basically just build a giant wall. You could be the War Thunder equivalent of Trump with an AVRE.
You need that Trump sound effect.
We don't know how tall you can build them yet, but I'm sure there's a limit.
Could you imagine if you could make a sound effect in the environment for War Thunder whenever the flares are above your head? You just hear, "No, get those lights off, turn them off."
Oh my god.
And bombs also leave craters, so have fun capturing a cap point when a friggin' PE8 drops a massive bomb on it.
Wow, I put the custom decks on and it just gave me all of like the random ones. Very cool. Or all the South African ones, I mean. I'm gonna change it up here. The dragons. Alright. And
Or even better yet, have fun burying an L3.
yeah, I'm just playing a match of war game on stream so we can still chat for a bit. Shit. Oh, I just clicked out. Turn allow me.
Imagine Dragon. Sure.
Air spamming flares and that sound effect. No, get those lights off! Turn them off!
Yeah, Luca, I'm pretty confident you'll be able to bury an L3. You've got three. If you have three dozers
We
coming,
can
in,
finally
you can just
throw all
bury
the
little
we can
guy.
finally throw all the R3 T20 cancer in a mass grave.
They'll look like fucking Division 1 again.
Oh no.
All the little R3s just in boxes.
You don't want that. Oh,
Don't worry.
R3s.
And we're gonna make a new clan. It's called the Cleaners of R3s.
The cleaners. They had crocodile tanks in with bulldozers on them.
R3 Cleaners.
I love spamming Roy Cats in this game.
It makes me wonder if guns are going to leave craters too, because the KV2 and stuff.
Most likely. If terrain deformation applies to any high explosive shell, then yeah.
It's gonna be like very little though.
Or even just the KV2's cratering rounds, like the concrete ones, might leave.
They have to do that for the KV. Because if they don't, that's just false advertising. False advertising, I want my money back.
for infantry. That's one thing. AI they don't play normally, so putting infantry in forest doesn't always work. Well, we'll just we'll call in the infantry later. I'll just see what the AI do with their spawn. Call in the best thing that South Africa gets in this game, and they're the only nation that gets this, is they get rocket artillery. They can fire smoke. You don't know how much this gives me Black Ops vibes. Okay, the other day I even clipped it. I don't know if I sent it to you guys, but it was literally just me pushing infantry down a mountain. It was completely smoked off. It was beautiful.
Luca gave us a good idea for when the patch drops. Burying an L3 in a cap while the whole team's trying to find it.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder if it makes me.
Over. I don't know how it's gonna even work.
That's what I'm wondering. If there's a crater, could you fill it?
We will have to test that out.
There's one thing I wish I could say, but I technically can't. It's not public. But I don't know when we'll get a dev server, but I kind of have an idea of the schedule that is supposed to happen. But it's a I'm gonna put in air quotes, a per usual of the updates. I was told. I can't really.
But how I think Gaussian is going to implement is that even if you do bury it or hide it, the tanks will be able to ram down the berms. So I don't know.
Depends on how they make the tank react to it.
One big suspicious Italian-looking bush in the camp, just buried.
Ain't nothing wrong here, mate. Just a normal bush.
So the AI gonna like take Charlie or what?
With my bush pack,
I mean, people probably would have clicked on it, but I wanted the title to be "Come for the Tease" or "Stay with the Gameplay." But
literally though, when the patch drops, I could get in my L3 or whatever and cover it in my massive bush pack I got from before they nerfed them.
you always
Technically,
like to flex that, don't you?
yeah, bro. And
bro.
you could literally try and bury me in a cap point.
This thing is cool looking, but it carries like no missiles. 2 radar, 2. Oh shit! Out. Hit that Neva. Out. Send it. Send it. Oh, he's dead. Oh, the barb. I don't know what's up with the Cheetah D in this game, but the barb missiles are like really inaccurate. Even with like the max veterancy, they don't always like to hit properly. It's actually better to just use the GBE bombs. Holy shit, that's a lot of votes. Hello.
We have shit to do.
Oh yeah, Tom Yao. We could literally build tactical ramps. We'll just have a rad camp heading towards a berm and go flying.
Depends on how they add the meshing.
But yeah, if they make it so tanks just flatten the berms if they hit them fast enough. Just depends.
I don't think they will. I think they're gonna make them static. But anyways, I gotta go. I'll see you guys later.
Maybe it's illegal.
Oh my god, those were all cores. Holy shit. That rains them. No, actually I can't. What the fuck?
And all these little German IFVs things now are just going to make city combat even harder because they're all going to hide in the little holes and stuff. So have fun being killed by something you can't see.
Already stuck in the mud, dog. Oh shit. The Roy Cats don't have the armor or the pen for this. Back up. Back up. These Roy Cats can like shoot pretty easily. AI and their Zerg rushes. Come on. Wow, and the AI didn't capture it. Now we're just gonna let that ring for 5 hours. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, Mirage. Come on. Come on. Out. Out. I feel like cluster bombs got kind of nerfed against really heavy targets in Red Dragon versus Airland Battle. Is there? AI doubled the command. Oh, Leopard better hit that thing.
It's just going to be mental with all the T-72s and their dozers underneath.
Yeah, they're going to be
Didn't
really
know
hard to
about
win against in a defensive strategy. Especially in Sim. Like, my god. I remember one time, one of my most memorable matches of War Thunder was playing T-64B in Sim. I think it was before Thermal. And, it was like, the whole team took up a defensive line along the entire perimeter of a European province. And, we won just simply by playing a war of attrition, and it was really enjoyable to actually have tactics employed instead of just everyone YOLOing, caps getting shot in the side, getting team killed, this, that, and other thing. It was actually one of the most enjoyable matches I'd ever had. Oh my god.
I love how they called it the ground-breaking trailer, though.
It's going to be called game breaking when they
Yeah.
you
Play
know.
sh come up with your ideas, boys. It's probably most likely
Game-breaking
just
was,
going to
like,
be
one of the first
game-breaking.
comments. Yeah, it was literally one of the first comments after I watched the trailer. Just game-breaking.
Yeah. I can't wait for the bugs like, oh, I've dug a berm, but now I've fallen through the map.
If that actually happens, I'm gonna be pretty terrified. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, just going to the center of the earth and coming out in Australia.
Imagine not automatic spamming. They kind of nerfed that a long time ago. I'm kind of sad they never added Italy, but now that they're actually making DLCs and they're paying attention to the game again, I wonder if they will work on an Italy DLC. If they'll actually.
Maybe
keep
this
it
was a
going.
one-off, though.
Well, I think so, because they did say that they never finished making the nation. Good. Eugen has a very, very bad history of kind of being assholes to their...
Yeah, this kick-ass guy has got a pretty good fucking input here. Like, I can't wait. Like he says, I can't wait for the unbeatable T-72 with his turret wiggling because you can't hit his hull.
Yeah. That will be an issue.
Help me, Step Aviary, I'm stuck in the bomb hole and can't get out.
That Turian.
Step Turian.
Have a super covert. Oh god, sidearm.
It's gonna make White Rock cancer even more than it already is.
I know they did balance changes in this update. I'm not sure if the Super Crocus got the best aircraft in the entire South African deck is the Buccaneer. 4 AS-30s. Could you imagine if they gave the British Buccaneer 4 AS-30s? Especially now that they no longer control inverted. Actually work. Same range as the Barb, which is funny. It's actually more accurate. AS-30s are actually kind of slow though. That's cool. They have it target the marksman. This thing can also take a Niwa missile to the face.
We don't know if you can bury tanks, but it would be funny if you could. We were talking about burying an L3 in a cap. That would be quite funny.
Yeah, can't really ask questions we don't even know the answers to. only theorizing.
Yeah, it's just theorizing pretty much, as he said.
What the hell was that visual bug on the Ray Bell? I like how the wargame community refers to the MBTs as heavy tanks, because that's how they're classified as, like it's still ruse. So they'll call like the TAD PVM like a heavy tank. It's funny.
Adios, Wilk.
Yeah, I will. I know. It's garbage night. I know.
Yeah, 105's kind of get fucked in War Thunder for now, but there's only so much you can do. Yeah, bury a locust. I'm just really worried about large bombs in the cities and the craters they could leave. They could be really broken.
Where do you need us, sir?
Checklist complete. Back on the clock.
South Africans go in and out of English. It's really weird. They gave them a new tone. That's weird. I think they lost the old sound. It sounds kind of. That sound just doesn't sound like completely inside the game. It's really weird. This isn't a really good 20 mil comparison to the Super Cobras. Jesus, they cleaned that up quick. Oh my god. What the hell? Mihalovic.
It's gonna make maps like Poland though, the cap overlooking the water. If you could build berms, it's gonna make the sniping really horrendous there. But then the people capping up there are actually gonna control it harder. So I don't know, it might just make the game more static or just more straight up broken maybe.
Not really. Cast still exists, remember?
Mm-hmm.
You can make all the entrenched positions you want, but all it takes is someone to drop a bomb in it or call artillery on it and you're over.
Checklist complete. Back on the clock.
Just wanting a straight up tank on tank combat game isn't happening unless you're playing WAT. I'm sorry. It's just not happening.
And even
War
WAT has
Thunder
its
is
anti-counter.
multi-dimensional. Like I'm just kind of I'm trying not to be an asshole, but I really am just kind of fed up with people constantly complaining about everything that isn't just them being in a tank and shooting another tank. And saying it's bad for gameplay. It's like, yeah, we fucking get that, but guess what? The cast has been in ground battles since how long now? It's just, you might as well just get used to it and stop bitching. Like,
Hell, even in arcade you can call in planes to use to get rid of campers. There's not really...
well, like, people think everyone's just gonna make an instant, people are just gonna like instantly dig a little entrenchment and they're just gonna sit there the whole game. Which can happen, yes, if people ignore that person and they let them continue. It happens in normal games. Whether there's a massive fucking crater or there's an entrenched position, people still sit in the same position on some maps and they kill fucking 10 people before someone finally gets a big brain moment and goes and blows them up or flanks them. It happens already. It doesn't matter what fucking stupid mechanic they add. The same shit already happens. I'm sick and tired of people complaining about shit that already exists. It's like, guess what? Already exists. Doesn't matter whether they have a little shovel. It's like, holy shit, stop complaining about it. It's not gonna change anything. Complain about it to vent your frustration. Sure, I get that. I get frustrated too, but don't complain about it expecting it to change. It ain't happening. It doesn't work that way anymore. I want red cats. Better red cats.
Yeah, basically the whole point of War Thunder is just mixed battles, yeah. They do tout it a lot.
They've been pushing that forever now. It's pretty apparent. I think they even said it themselves. They've said it in a couple of dev blogs. They want the game to be multi-dimensional. They want it to
even if we compare it to WAT has artillery for the same duty cast performs in War Thunder basically. To root out campers and annihilate the enemy when it stays still.
Fun is just static gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
That's what artillery would do in real life. Oh, the enemy won't budge from their position? Oh, yeah. The guy who's like, yeah, let's just keep sending waves of people at them even though they're never going to move. It's like, no, let's fire artillery at them to kill them and soften them up and destroy their entrenched position and then attack them. That happened in real warfare. That's how you can't have war without having it change. That's how it fucking works. If you're expecting a war game to just be the same shit, it ain't gonna work. The closest that I've come to has been either CSGO for competitive or games like Enlisted. And Enlisted is not fun after a while because of what I said earlier, like twice. I said it twice earlier. Like Wolfram can tell you as well. It's fun to play Enlisted until the enemy is just sitting in a single building the entire match and you can't do anything about it because the building doesn't get destroyed. So fucking boring. Shit. IR missiles go away. Let's drop a JDAM on them, why not? Need a recon heli.
And I know no one cares about Naval, but it makes me wonder how big the battleship creators are going to be.
They even think about that. I'm assuming it's just it's applying to the terrain. There's going to be some calculation. X, HE gives X, you know, or Y damage model or something. Who knows? If it's like a dynamic terrain thing, then that'll make the most sense because that's what most modern games use, anyways. That's what I assume how it's gonna work. Oh wow, the enemy left their command there. How cute.
I do rather enjoy that they're not just adding South Africa and then forgetting about their entire existence, they're actually expanding upon them. Even if it's something as simple as a truck with a gun on the back. Because we could have had a scenario where Gaijin just adds this, and then never adds any predecessing vehicles or anything. And they're fair picking it up with the Chinese too, adding all these little vehicles and planes.
The V12 thing, I don't even know why they bothered with a dev block on that. That's gonna be 4,000 RP and you're gonna spade it in the game. Even for people who just start on playing, it's not even worth making a dev block on.
Everything's worth making a dev blog on, even if it's just... because it's still a little vehicle and it's still something to talk about, and some people are enthusiasts. People might fly that in sim, I highly doubt it, but you never know.
True. Me being too negative, but or not.
Because hell, there's people with Phantoms, but they prefer flying a Kitty Hawk or a C-11 or whatever the hell it is in ARB. The CW-11, is it?
CW11. But that's because that thing's just whack.
Yeah, that thing's redonkulous.
Did they ever fix the wings of it?
I don't know. I've not flown it in a long time.
Yes, sir.
MA. Cool, MA go.
Yeah, it's not War Thunder. We're only just discussing the teaser and going through it, and Steele's playing a quick battle. with
Like
us.
I said earlier, you probably weren't here, but I said earlier I have no interest or will to even play War Thunder right now. I get
Yeah, and I ran out of premium, so I ain't touching it either. Yeah, the CW21, sorry, Tiger Man. That's what I meant. The Mimi Chinese tube something.
CW21.
No, I said 11,
Oh,
because I'm a Bogo's Binted.
your Bogo's minted? Are your Bogo's minted? Okay, what? What?
Did you get those dev blogs printed? No, that's Binted?
Did you get those dev blogs leaked? Template leaked?
Yeah, I don't mind them adding more like little obscure planes. It's just some of them are rather strange. But I'm always hyped for a little American-looking dive bomber. I love their design.
Special forces units consist of Dragonovs, PBSHs, and RPGs. Finland moment.
Well, the way we work, Daniel, now is we mostly just play patches or grind battle passes. There's no other real reason to play. We have most of the stuff that we want actively.
Dude, I can't play War Thunder. It's so stale. It's just stale. I can't play it between patches. It was the reason why I stopped playing Warframe for a while. I just like the game got really stale. I don't enjoy War Thunder's gameplay that much anymore, unfortunately. Even just to play it to entertain people, I'd rather just stream, you know, just run around a war game. If people don't watch it, people don't watch it. That's my problem, but it's just like I'm not gonna force myself. Like if people enjoyed watching me play in Rant, maybe. But I don't enjoy playing just to rage. I don't want people to just watch me scream in my microphone for 2 hours on stream. I'm Italian, okay? You can already tell this entire stream, I'm Italian. I'm not calm. I can't keep a calm composure. I will get really mad at War Thunder. Especially after a while of just, it's like Voss, right? I'm going insane. So
whereas you have my mentality where, well, when I did the China grind, Steel will remember how angry I got doing that, but I got to a point where I just get bored. I don't really rage at all anymore. I just get bored.
at that point, my philosophy, you just don't fucking play it. If I'm going into War Thunder and expecting to just get my ass torn apart every match, I might as well not even play the game. Because I'm not enjoying it. If I'm just getting my ass kicked, I'm not enjoying it. But even if I'm coming top of the team, if I'm like having to spawn 20 times because they're just dying of bullshit, that's not fun either. I can win a match and kick the enemy team's ass and not enjoy it. Because it was just like a chore of a match to play through. That's the other issue. Ooh, that artillery's...
Yeah, I never finished my ZTZ 99 3-unit grind, which was a shame.
We'll have a chance next update anyways.
I will anyway, because I'll need to get the ZLT or whatever the hell it's called. I literally remember posting pictures.
It's ZTL. I could go look at it in Wargame right now.
Yeah, I don't know why they did ZLT.
They're retarded. They even said their consultant. It's like your consultant shot. The fuck?
But I remember fucking posting a picture of that and saying, "Oh, I wish this was in War Thunder," and then there's a dev blog. It's like, what the fuck? I can't wait till the day they add a fucking Taiwanese M1 Abrams.
Oh, fuck off. That'll be so dumb.
Just a premium Abrams, like what the fuck?
It'll have an American-esque like color to it, so in Sim it'll just get team killed because it'll be on the Chinese team, the Gami team.
Yeah, Woodworm still just needs to get good. All right.
Shut up, Woodworm. Saw you lurking in chat earlier. Saw you lurking. Easy. These para Pathfinders are hilarious. They're basically the South African Navy SEALs. Couple them with the SAF snipers, and you have a 20mm anti-tank rifle and grenade launchers.
Steele's only playing a game or two, so he probably won't do Israel.
Are you play Israel? No, I'm playing South Africa, dog. I could play Israel, but they got nerfed into the ground. They're not that enjoyable to play anymore in this game. They got
still have really
hard.
neat artillery.
What?
They still have really fun artillery.
Yeah. No, it's that their whole shtick of having Merkava as infantry transports doesn't work anymore when they cost 100 points to give you not even shock infantry. That's what was annoying. It's not even shock infantry. It's like, who the hell even wants that? So wow, my Royal got slaughtered.
Kick ass, it's only funny. Guys, just gotta remember what Tech said. If you're not having fun, just do well.
really say that.
It sounds like a tech thing to say, so I'd assume so.
Kind of like what Dice said, like, if you don't like Battlefield, just don't play it, and then no one plays it.
Wow, really bit that bullet pretty hard.
No, 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 not my snipers. No. Fuck.
I really wish I had the Macabres in the north in there. I love the Israeli tanks.
Bonked.
The 2B would be my favorite to use, probably.
Alright, Pathfinders, you have a grenade launcher. Now you are expected to kill a 30 mil wielding thing. I'm surprised they don't give this to China as well at like 7377. 25, it's literally just, yeah, like an IMV with a 25. Pathfinders, run. Run, 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 run. Oh, I forgot I have my Roy Cats alive still. Shit. That was
I love how the ZSD looks like it has a tiny Dordo hull.
basically, that's what it is. There's a version of this that has KPVTs and then igloos on it. Then transport. North Korea gets some bullshit. Transport.
Yeah, I kind of hope China gets North Korea sometime, because it would be really funny to have little T-55s with igloos on them. But then again, I highly doubt it. They don't seem too interested in adding South Korea for the Japanese, because apparently it's racist. Don't know how.
It's not racist, it's just that they've always had a sketchy history together, and like the whole World War II thing, I guess, it makes it taboo, but it's a fucking video game. The Taiwanese had to suck it up. Like, really. And a South Korea and Japan coalition is more likely and realistic than it is to have Taiwan play with China. Like,
And it
holy
would be
shit.
more well received, considering they're allies in real life. And they're both democratic nations with interesting vehicles that people don't often get to see.
That's where their command is.
Like, if they added South Korea to the later stages of the Japanese tech tree, think how many people would be intrigued knowing that's there and how much it might boost the player base of that nation.
Holy shit. What was my cheetah supposed to attack? Fuck. How is that alive? Oh, it's not going to be alive for much longer, is it? How did that even survive that? Holy shit.
I'm just wondering what aircraft we'll get next in this patch. I'm betting a Thunder Chief. I just think that for some reason. Because they've had it in the files for ages, did they not?
Yeah, I believe so.
So we could probably bet on a Thunder Chief.
These inflicts are also kind of a meme. They get a 107mm like HE rocket thing. I don't know what exactly to call it, but it's kind of like, remember that little infantry unit in Men of War, that one defense mission the Germans had, the little grenade launcher thing?
Yeah, that was
He
terrible.
said that in the video. He called people whiners. He said if you're not having fun, just do well. I remember he also got some shit for when he was talking about the repair cost thing, like how like you don't need always auto repair, therefore you won't lose SL. It's like still at some point you got to pay for it. Like, and also Gaijin with their thing.
And I don't think people are very happy to sit and wait 2 weeks for their vehicles repair.
God, I'm not gonna get away.
Their free repair. The only problem with the Israeli tanks in war games, they're just too expensive because they're just too good.
Yeah, they're not really as fun to play anymore because everything just got overly expensive. I'll have to check the balance changes for the update, but they made some other NATO units more expensive. Like they made the Raven like 160 points now. Those South African seaplanes are really bad. The barb just isn't accurate enough for the fact that it has to fly in a SAM range of pretty much every radar. It's not really that good. You have to actually put shitty planes into a deck, bait the AAs to shoot them, and then have the other go and kill them, which is really bad. Very annoying. Did we tell you to unload? Oh, they did. A lot of the Retels just got murdered. Where do they go?
I'm still surprised they've not added the little skink Sherman with the 420s.
Yeah, that's weird too.
I think, because I remember a couple years ago or close, a lot of people were asking for it. Yeah, an Israeli tech tree would be cool for America, but the issue is they've made so many of them event vehicles now that it's kind of
they have other
beyond
variants
saving.
that would be virtually identical. It's not the first time they've done it. They did look for the Germany and Italy. An Israeli tree would stand out more than just putting Russian vehicles in the German tech tree, to be honest. They should have been like a veteran unlock tree. It's not hard for guys to implement something like that.
Or even just something as simple as East German camos for some Russian tanks. I am with the much. Death to the MPLA.
I mean, there's nothing up there, but keeps the units hidden. Oh, there might be.
Yeah, there's so many minor nations they could add, just as like a sort of mini end game tree once you reach tier whatever it is now, 5 million, and move into new trees like they did with the helicopters being unlocked at a certain tier. East Germany, Israel, the Commonwealth, South fucking
When you have
Africa.
such good skill that you can get 2 units on 2 saber targets. Oh, I missed that second one though. Kingway moment.
Because honestly, Germany having its East German vehicles in its tech tree alongside Marders and Weasels is just a bit just stupid.
Annoying. Someone can spawn next patch when they add the Weasel. Someone can spawn in a BMP and then spawn in a Weasel at the same time. They'll be at like the same battle rating basically.
When they could have
Or
done
like a
something
Martyr.
when they could have done something as simple as give the Soviets the East German tanks, or even as camos for the tanks that East Germany did
They
have.
could just
But-
split up the German tech tree and make them matchmake differently. Count as separate
Or that,
nations
yeah,
in the
that's what I
same
mean.
tab. That they literally can do that. They can be separate nations in the same research tab under Germany, and they can literally make them matchmake differently. It's entirely possible that they can do that. They just put them in a sub menu. That's all they have to do. You can do it with Israel as well. You unlock rank 6 of America, you then unlock the Israeli subtree, where you can start researching Israeli vehicles. And a few of them can maybe be put into the lineup, because Israel would probably be a little bit different case, but
And then even the earlier vehicles, like for the South African situation, all these little low tiers like the 4.3s and stuff, the 2.3s, they could just be in the normal tech tree anyway. It really just depends on the nations that are being added and the relations they would have had. Because having the Commonwealth in the British tech tree is totally fine, depending on who gave them the tank, who helped them build the tank, and who they used it alongside. Like, West Germany didn't use their tanks alongside East Germany. It makes no sense. Germany operated them. Sure, they should, in technicalities, be added
The only
to
thing
the
I've
German tree,
known
but it
that the
makes no sense.
Bundeswehr actually
in a way.
operate in length after the war would be
Was the Mi-24
and the Mi-24.
because
That's all I can think
that's
of. I don't know
why
about
there's a
ground
Bundeswehr
vehicles.
premium with that.
Holy fuck, they just got annihilated.
I mean, West Germany pretty much scrapped and sold all of the East German tanks because they couldn't afford to run them or just build the munitions for them. They just used them till they ran out, I'm pretty sure. And obviously, since most of the parts and shit was thrown at them from the Soviets, well, a lot of them broke down or just straight up weren't used. Yeah, since we're moving so deeply into Cold War and modern tanks, Japan and Korea not being together is almost strange in a way.
It's some stupid. I've talked to content creators that are from those nations, and it's some stupid taboo. And I told them, I'm like, I know I'm not. I know I'm not Asian, but you need to suck it the fuck up. Like I told them, I'm like, you need to suck it up. Really, it's a fucking video game, and some people were like, well, it's not like Japan's tanks or shit or aren't shit. I'm like, the Type 90 is the Type 90, but Japan doesn't exactly have an interesting tech tree.
And they don't really have much more to go on in the future.
The Type 90 being good at what it does doesn't necessarily mean that they don't need South Korea with them.
There's only so far all the tech trees can go, and
The
Japan's
K2
getting quite
right now,
unrelenting.
K2 Black Panther, bit much. K1A1, K1, not really. They're what? Literally they're just essentially a copy paste.
No, South Korea, not North Korea. Imagine a North Korean fucking content creator.
Wait, did I say north or I meant south? But
You must have said South, maybe. I'm not sure. It would be really funny if you said North.
North Korea could go to Russia, but that wouldn't be.
Or China more so.
Or sorry, China. I meant China.
Imagine Russia with the fucking South Korea and North Korean T-55s with the Iglas. That would just be dumb as
Oh, that
fuck.
was too close. Well, that's unfortunate. Sometimes infantry survive the heli
I
crash.
think the K1A1 technically is a license-built M1, but it's got some
It is.
domestic stuff stuck to it.
Basically domestic.
And it's domestically built, if I remember.
Lost all of my good infantry. Fuck me. Holy shit.
There wouldn't
the
be too
fucking
much North Korean vehicles, but I can't remember their name because of the way North Korea names their tanks, but in like the 1980s and shit in the 70s and I think even the 90s and up to today, they used like T-55s that are like semi-up armored, really shitty upgrades.
There's a T-55
And
and 6 that Russia.
they have Iglas stuck on the back because North Korea can't afford to build dedicated SAM systems very well. So they just stick Iglas to the back of shit, like everything they use. So it would literally be like a T-55 up armored with an Igla on the back or two.
Come on, Buccaneer, I need you. Where'd you go? I don't know if it's gonna make it in time.
Let's see, tanks of North Korea. Yeah, they're called fucking Chon Mahos
Yeah.
and shit like that.
Wouldn't Israel go well with the Italians? No, it doesn't work. No. I saw someone inquire about this before. No.
That would just seem really weird.
They, just because they have a good relationship, it doesn't really mean shit. It doesn't really. I mean, I know you could say it's the same thing for America, but in a way, not really. We've essentially funded their entire fucking existence.
Mostly their military infrastructure.
Yeah.
But Italy mostly just piggybacks and gives
Italy getting them
fires,
would just
systems,
be
shit. All military.
It just wouldn't fucking work. Not with Italy's matchmaking. It wouldn't work.
Merkavas versus Abrams when?
The Italians gave them a round and a gun, and that's basically just it. They don't really have that much more of a relationship that would make them notably, and the Israelis have already gone to the Americans. It doesn't work. I remember seeing someone, it wasn't on Reddit, it was on a Discord or something, saying that, I'm like, just because they gave them a fucking round doesn't mean anything. America gave them enough to make a whole goddamn military.
Oh, I see why they probably wouldn't add the North Korean tanks, actually, because those Chon Mahos with the iglas and shit on the back, they made them in like the 2010s and the 2000s. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So they're still technically extremely secretive, so that's kind of dumb.
Well, they're just T-62s.
They're just T-62s and T-55s, yeah.
Sure, I just saw there was a, you know that when North Korea did that march, that parade, and they had it was a tank that looked like an Armada / Abrams. It's literally
just
a T-62 paper mache. It's fucking hilarious. You can tell that it's not real material. It's completely laid over a T-62. The gun is a T-62's gun. See, if it's real armor, then maybe, but from what I can tell, it just looked like fucking paper mache. So, or something like that, but god damn it, it was funny. It's not that it's secretive, it's just they would find some excuse, but no. Yeah, the CL-30, what do you call it? That one round is just CL-3143 exported.
Yeah, there's nothing really secretive about them. It's just minor shit, and Gaijin would probably use it as a reason to not add them.
I don't know. I'm assuming the Merkava 4s are using a better round than what the Merkava 3 and War Thunder kits.
Like,
but
the Chon Maho series and all that are literally just T-62s, T-55s, with more steel smacked on them, and iglas and minor night vision upgrades.
I want to
look
at this now. I want to confirm. Where is it? Should be here. Is it not in War Thunder or War Game? I might have been thinking of this thing. The ZTS. T is always followed by the first Z. It is not ZST, okay? It's ZTS. That would happen with the L as well. It's not specifically in War Game, but see how it's WZ, CSD, that's different, but...
Also, look at the North Koreans, just show them the...
No, it's the
recon
recon
thing.
The ZTQ, ZTQ-61, yeah. Okay, we'll go to North Korea. So, North Korea gets this hilarious vehicle. Not this one. This one. It's a T-62 with Strelas on it, on the back. They actually get a T-90. The Russians get the B-3, so they're literally identical, but...
But isn't it like a future, so... That...
No, it just says 1991. A Pongai. You imagine someone driving this in War Thunder just running around with just a truck.
Yeah, paper mache T-55 blending as an Armata. Yeah, we need that.
I want to find, what's that infantry transport? I need to find it. Where is it? This one. This thing is hilarious in War Game. It gets, although for some reason there's a Malyotka on the model, it gets 4 Iglas and twin KPVTs. This thing murders infantry and butchers their heli support. They get a BTR-80, I forgot. Well, one nation I would like to see in War Thunder is Yugoslavia in some way. They kind of have their own interesting BMPs. They get their own T-55, which has a weird looking upgrade package. T-72s. They get this thing.
But yeah,
kinda
people
fair.
complain about China not having enough in some regards, but there's a lot of filler you can get from North Korea.
Even so, they only do what a nation really needs it. But the problem is that they don't tell us that they plan on doing more in the future or what they entails because they want to keep it secretive because they don't want people to expect something every patch. When I mean, it was pretty self-explanatory. We were expecting a mirage for God knows how long. It happens anyways, but it's Gaijin. Uh, it's like they could at least tell us, right? The North Koreans legit got one T90. Yeah, they get like 2 of them or something. Actually, they might have changed it. Let me make a normal deck for them. We'll see. We'll just do straight up North Korea armored. Oh yeah, they really do get one deck charge of it. They get either 1 elite or 3 veteran. That's actually better than before. It used to be 2 veteran, I think. What the fuck? There's really no reason to make a unit elite. They perform well anyways. Alright, it's been 2 hours. I'm tired. I want to go. So, everyone that watches this post will get a game of a war game. So.
Oh, that was fast.
Oh, alright. Alright, boys. For everyone that kept around, keep watching, thanks. As per usual, as is with my rant earlier, I don't know what I'm going to be doing, so we'll just leave it at that. But, yeah. We can probably, I don't have the card set up. All I have is, like, these 2 screens. This is actually all like a, what do you call it? A template. I really like this template. We could do an episode where we just stream and chat about potential stuff. But for now, I'm going to leave it there. I'm tired. I want to play some other games without streaming, so I just want to hang out. But anyways, I will see you guys all eventually later sometime, hopefully. So, see ya. And don't get too hyped.